everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Rochelle Smith and I am from Stamping Flair. I'm based in Melbourne in Australia. This is the second week of my card creation series where I'm sharing different projects every Sunday using a particular stamp set or a bundle, and I do this every month. This month my chosen stamp set is the Winter Scenes stamp set, which is one of my favorites from the online exclusives which are released this month. So this was the card we created last week. And with my card creations series, how it works is you have the opportunity to purchase a kit if you are in Australia. So I have got two options this month. Sometimes I may have more, but this month I have two. You can either purchase the kit as is, so just where I will give you the die cuts, any embossed pieces, the cardstock to stamp on, the designer series paper. You don't get the stamped images. You can either purchase the set, or if you've got it, you can use it, or you can substitute with what you have. You get the embellishments, everything, and envelopes. The second option, which is my deluxe option, where you can get the bundle and some extra the pattern paper or the designer series paper, you'll get some of that, extra of that, and embellishments. So there's a couple of options. I've got the links there for you. And today we're creating the second of our cards. You can also purchase the PDF tutorial worldwide. So that gives you an opportunity to participate in this class wherever you are. The PDF tutorial is available to purchase, but it will be emailed at the start of the following month, which is October, just so that it gives us a chance to finish this class, and then it gets sent out, and then in October it's available for immediate download as well. So it's really good to have you here. I hope you've had a great weekend and have had an enjoyable and relaxing weekend. It's been quite a creative weekend for me. You know how sometimes you get the ideas flowing. It's been one of those weekends, and I sometimes my ideas come when I have loads to do, so it just keeps coming, and that's always good. I sort of work good under pressure, which is always handy. So for our card today, I'm going to start with the image, and this is the Winter Scene stamp set, and I have die cut. I'm going to be using this image, and I have die cut the everyday arches. I'm using that. You of course can use whatever you like, so you can, if you're crafting along with me, let me know. Are you using this set, or perhaps you are using something else, what you're creating? I'd love to know what you are, if you're crafting, what you are making along with me, or what you might be doing this Sunday evening. Perhaps it's Sunday morning for you, and where you're joining from. So I love this little cabin. It is so cute. So I'm going to be stamping in Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to bring this in a little bit, make that a bit. And place it sort of, I guess I'm leaving about a gap, a little bit of a gap in the middle, a 1.5 centimeter sort of a gap at the bottom. So it's pretty centered, the image. My PDF tutorial does have measurements in both imperial and metric, so no matter where you are, you can craft along that, which is made very easy for you. It has all the steps as well. I like my tutorials too. It has the email, it has the photos, it has all the supplies, but I also like to give you the step-by-step in the PDF as well. While there's a video, that's how I like to craft when I love a video, but I also like to have written instructions, so you will get all the instructions in there. So let me bring in, I'm thinking I might need, the grid paper is great, and I'm going to bring in another piece only because I'm using blends. It's funny, I've got a scrap paper, but I'm bringing another scrap. Oh, maybe I need a Bukanda because I'm going to be using some color pencils as well, and I like a bit of cushioning under for that. All right. So for our house or the cabin, I'm going to be using light crumb cake and ivory. And I've done a few different combinations with this house, with the cabin, and I like to try different colors. So this is where I went with this one. Ivory is a good color to have. You get that in, it comes in a pack of ivory and bronze. Generally used for skin, but don't discard it for things like this. When you want sort of a more muted tone, apart from the natural tones we have as well, don't forget ivory. It's a good color to add those to it, so it's not so dark. Then I'm going to, let me bring that in, hopefully you can see it a bit better. Then I'm going to bring in light crumb cake, and I'm adding a bit more, I guess a bit more warmth here. That might be a little bit too close. Then let's bring in dark crumb cake, and we'll add some highlights to this house. Now this bit, sort of finding those slats, I guess, on this. I'm gonna bring in it a bit darker here. Your light's gonna come in this way, and I'm bringing in some darkness here. For the roof, I'm gonna add some pecan pie, which I kind of forgot to pull in. Is that pecan pie? No, it's not. All right, let's go pecan pie. I have done the house in pecan pie as well. You could do crumb cake, so many variations if you want to do it. So in, like I was saying, in my instructions, you will get every bit. So what color for the roof, everything like that, I specify, so to make it easier for you. And so there's no doubt how to color it. But of course, I say this is just a guide, and you can do whatever colors you like, or however design you like as well. It's just a guide. I know this could be snow. I chose to do this a little bit differently. Go with dark pecan pie now. Add some, when you're coloring, turn the image so you can, it's easier for you to get to the image and sections. The chimney is going to be in crumb cake. I'll start with light. And then I'll add some shading in the dark. So if you're watching on replay, please ask any questions. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube as well, so you get notified when I do go live or if I post a new video. I appreciate all the support. For the door and the frame, let's go with dark crumb cake. So I've kept this quite very log cabin-y. On the steps, I will just extend that with some crumb cake. So it's looking very rustic and I do like that look. Bringing in a bit of bronze here, and this is in the pack I was saying with the ivory, so you'll get it in the same pack if you don't have it. You can use these neutral tones just to add some shading, and if you don't have this, you can use any of those other neutrals like your medium and your medium deep, anything like that would work. So
when are you eating yours?
just bear with me, please.
Right.
So for the trees, we're going to be coloring. We're going to be coloring in with Shy Shamrock and Old Olive. I apologize for that. If you heard, it's let's start with okay, we'll start with this one. And I had it for these, because there was the snow caps, I went with a little less green, but here I added more sort of a green tone. I figured this probably had less snow. That was my interpretation anyway. And I added some depth with the darker old olive. So this one was closer, I guess, to the house, and I wanted less snow on it. You can always pull back your color with the color lifter. And here I'm adding some light Shy Shamrock. So even though it's two colors, you can, what I'm saying is with two colors, you can add variation here. So now I'm bringing the light Shy Shamrock through here. In between that snow caps there on the tree. And I'll bring in a little bit of the dark as well. And this is just to provide some variation here in the middle, some of the dark. And all your trees aren't going to be the same, so that's why I have just a bit of change. And dotting it with a little bit of old olive. Okay. Got my color lifter, a little bit of that went on the snow, which I don't really want to, if I can help it. I'm going to be adding some pool party anyway on that snow, so it'll be okay in the meantime. In between, just on the windows, I'll be using the dark lemon lolly just to add. It's very, you can barely see it, but it will just add something that, like, there's a light on. And then I'll bring in Pool Party. I've got colours everywhere. Put them away. And we'll bring in Pool Party. So we'll do some light Pool Party. You can either use the brush or the bullet, it doesn't matter. And then I'll diffuse the edge with my color lifter. I'm going to go back over, because the color will be softer when you have already added that color lifter on it. I will add a little bit of Pool Party here. You don't have to do it on every single one, but just a little bit. You could add grey granite, smoky slate, anything like that, just to add some shadow on these trees. And that's pretty much done for coloring. I feel like I need a little bit more shadow here, but I'm going to add this with my color pencils. So I've got Early Espresso and Pecan Pie in watercolor pencils. This makes a huge difference on your coloring. So this is Pecan Pie, and it adds that red tone without overpowering it. Going with the Early Espresso here. So adding basically shading to this. And that makes it, I think, a big difference to the detail when you add that the watercolor pencils. Just adds a fair bit of highlight and the coloring. All right, so I'm going to mat this now onto real red, the larger of the two arches. And the rest of the card comes together very quickly because it's the coloring that takes a little bit of time, and I like doing that because this is my focal point, and it's nice to spend that time and do it just right. I'm not going through removing all this, but all the little dots, I'm pretty sure they're come out. For my card base, I've got a Secret C card base and some designer series paper from the Traditions of Christmas. That's the pack I've been using with every card. I got some piece in there, and we are going to put that on the card front here. So that's the other side. Next, I've got a matte layer of Old Olive, and I have cut this with the textured notes dies. So this is the other piece. Again, you making use of that beautiful paper and letting that do the work for us. Now I've got some ribbon, which is the Secret C ribbon. And let me get some glue dots, or double-sided tape, actually, I'm looking for. The glue dots will be fine. Let me just, I wanted it a little bit below. So we're going to go like that. Make sure it's straight. Let's move it up a touch. And then that's just going to get glued across. This is going to go on dimensionals, and this makes all the difference. Popping it up just makes, I love my dimensionals. For my sentiment, I am using just the joy part of the Peace, Love, Joy. This is from the Peaceful Peace on Earth stamp set, which is that's sweet with all the blues. And I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper, cardstock, some white, and that's all you need really. You don't need anything more. You can just, I'm using real, you can see all the gingerbread meant of stamped. That's from the Jar of Joy. That's a cute one too. So I don't only need the joy and just be careful with red as I just switch my hand over it. It tends to get smudgy. Give it a second to dry. Okay, glue that on to my old olive. I think I want that a little bit smaller there. Oops. Okay. And just freehand it around, and I'm just going to get a bit of a fun looking sentiment, because you want it rustic and organic. Then I can move that a bit, perhaps this way. Put a couple so that it doesn't seesaw. And I just wanted something to sit in there. And as I said, this, while I'm using it for Christmas cards, this set is really lends itself to great any person, but like great masculine cards, especially if you find masculine cards tricky. It's great for any style. Tie a ball. And we'll stick that there, and I will add another glue dot just under so it doesn't sort of wobble around. Hi Alicia, lovely to see you. Oh, you're welcome. You like this stamp set too? Yeah, I tend to, when I look through the catalog, look for kind of bit obscure sets, because like the ones that are not that obvious and kind of get overlooked, the ones, maybe hidden gems, I call them. And I like this sort of sets anyway, that I tend to, maybe because I like coloring. I mean, not that you have to color this sort of thing, but I like coloring, and it's what I love to do. So it's kind of my style. But you could just use it, like I was saying last week. You could use it like just a silhouette, kind, not silhouette. That's not the wrong word. Like, oh, that's the wrong word. Like a line art kind of image, stamp it in like a sepia kind of look, more that vintage look, monochromatic. Yeah, I did one last week, so I've got 4 this month. I've also done a few others as well, done in the Stamping Lounge as well, because I said it's one of my top 5 products in the September releases. So I've been using it a fair bit. Now, if join me next Saturday, I am going to be doing a whole day of Christmas cards from 10 a.m. to 6 o'clock in the evening, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I will be having breaks, but they are not sort of scheduled. I will just go with the flow, and we'll just create and create and create with whatever I've got, and it'll just be it's what I'm calling a festive showcase. So join me on Saturday the 20th, which is next Saturday, or this Saturday coming up, and we'll just go get inspired with lots and lots of Christmas, because it's never too early to start creating for Christmas. Yes, it's good to have options, isn't it? Yeah, it's not, I think, and then kind of, you can use it with different designer series papers and bundles, or with even retired product you have, you can mix and match. I think we've all got lots of stash. All right, so that's simple. I have just used some designer series paper with a just a simple strip of old olive cardstock. You can use whatever you have, whatever scraps you have, just to decorate that. So that's our card. This was my original card, so same. I've done it exactly the same, and I will show you our card from last week. So now we've got 2 there that we have done. So yes, you're welcome, Alicia. I look forward to seeing you. So it will be on Facebook and YouTube. So join me, and the replays will be available. So please share, and anyone can join in. So this was last week's card. So join me Saturday, and then next Sunday I'll have card number 3 from this series as well. Oh, thank you so much. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be live on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. With that, I will just that's just my regular live. And so thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely week ahead of you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.